All right, welcome back, everyone. It's been a quiet week, I'd say. Not much happened this week. It's kind of what I wanted to direct this week's video at. I might give it a little bit of time to see if a little more people join. Any topic anyone would like me to handle? Any questions we have up front? If you have any questions during the video, it's also completely fine, of course. But if not, I'll just start opening my screen and let me grab OBS real quick. There we go. So yeah, as I said, the markets did not do a lot. We went a bit sideways movement, really, a few percentages up and down. But in general, the total market cap, total market cap is only 0.1. It's up from last week. I think last week was 2.6. Fear and greed index is getting better. It's not loading. Why isn't it? There we go. But yeah, it's up a little bit, still in fear territory. I still think markets are extremely unpredictable at this point. I do not think we will see a lot of euphoria anytime soon. Maybe a truce arrives in Ukraine and Gaza again. That could boost market sentiments, but I think the biggest downturn is yet to come. And so I figured I would talk about some practical things I'm doing and I'm going to do, or other options I'm looking at. I'm not only invested in crypto, I'm also invested in stocks, several different types of stocks. Yes, the return is lower, but also the risk is lower, especially during these times when everything goes down. I do keep buying Bitcoin, but I'm not investing more in meme coins, altcoins, smaller altcoins, or at least not anything I don't think will do well. So in the meantime, you still want to be active, you want to be investing, you want to be trading, you want to be constantly progressing, moving your money, not moving it too much, but you get the drift, I suppose. You kind of diversifying is key, even in good markets, bad markets, any market. So yeah, in short, fear territory. Could we see a bounce? We could, probably. I mean, we've seen a lot of selling pressure. We're bound for a little upwards momentum, but in general, I don't think that we will see. I mean, you can see it already, like the buying pressure is already being exhausted. Yeah, exactly the same. So if this does turn into a bigger bear market, if the next 4 years Trump turn out to be horrible, I'm not sure if it will. At least this year is not looking great, let's be honest. In the meantime, I decided to, well, I used to use a platform, it's called Mintos, crowd lending platform. Just an example, not to say that you should use this platform, but what this does is basically crowd lending platform. You're able to buy a little bit into it. You can put some money in. The last time I used it, I made roughly 18 to 20% on the highest aggressive setting. It is riskier, but it enables you to gain a little bit more, and it was smaller cash, so I allowed myself to take more risk on it. But yeah, you can do high yield investment in loans. This option I did not use at the time, but they came with it later. You can invest in bonds. Not per se country bonds like dollar bonds, but at least last time I checked, they did not have that. They might have that now, but it was basically company bonds. So they were a little bit higher yield, still relatively safe, and you still make money on your money. So it could be a good way to reserve some cash on the side, wait till possibly Bitcoin drops further or anything, and you can invest in that. Similar for real estate. No idea what smart cash is. Not used that yet. But 2.5% interest. It's most likely interest on a balance. So money you have not invested and just parked there will still accrue some interest, a little bit higher than your bank. Etoro does something similar. If you hold quite a bit of cash on Etoro, you get roughly 4% out of the top of my head on non-invested cash. So that's one thing I'm doing. I have an Etoro account. I'm a popular investor on it as well. So I have cash parked there as well. Hey, I'm good. How are you? So yeah, I have cash parked there as well. I'm thinking this platform probably has it too. Real estate I've not used from this platform. Obviously, since the last time I used it, they've grown, they've expanded their products to also enable their customers to diversify. But this is a platform I used in the past personally. I had a good experience with it. I had one loan which was being defaulted on, and they paid me back for it, and they closed it. So yeah, in general, I think it's a good platform, and I'm looking at reopening my account and putting some money in there as well. But there's a lot of platforms like this. I think in general, it's a good idea to not keep your money at least basically on any platform, but if you have to keep it on a platform, spread it around. Don't keep it on on just one platform. This same goes for wallets, crypto wallets. And I'm not sure if I showed you guys how my wallet structure looks like, but I made this a while back. I did a video on it. I think I live streamed it, but I'm not sure if I did it in here. This is how my wallet structure looks. So I'm guessing if you're all in here, you all have private wallets. If you do not, if you're still using just an exchange to store all your crypto, please get yourself a wallet and keep it secure. Write down those words, put it in the safe somewhere else. That would be your main wallet. And every long-term hold I have is on there. Everything I intend to hold and want to keep safe and don't want to trade with, that's in there. And other than that, I have a sub-wallet. So that's somewhat protected. That sub-wallet, that's the wallet with which I interact with other wallets or my other accounts, my exchange platforms, etc. Stuff like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Radium, Jupiter. That would be the use for that sub wallet, and maybe even another sub wallet below that. So your main wallet never interacts with anything, never connects with anything. You never approve or sign a transaction on that other than to your own other wallet. So that way, nobody will get access to it. Nobody gets a chance to hack it or leak it or whatever, or grab your data from it. Nobody gets that chance unless they have those words, and that's locked in your safe. So that's securer than any hot or cold wallet ever. The best way to do that is just keep that wallet safe. You have that sub wallet, and then you can use burner wallets, which I use if I have to connect to a new platform, a new meme coin wants you to stake their coin somewhere, whatever crap like that, NFTs, other stupid stuff. Use a burner wallet. Just create a new wallet. It takes 10 seconds. Send whatever cash you're meaning to trade, send it to that wallet, and with that wallet you interact with any kind of sketchy platform. And if it turns out to be fake, you only lose the money that's in that wallet. The best way to keep at that. Yeah, a hot wallet, app wallet, whichever app you use, MetaMask, Trust Wallet, or Soulflare, whatever, Phantom. All those wallets, all those apps, you can you can literally create a wallet in 10 minutes, in a few minutes, and you can send your funds to it and trade with it. On Ethereum, it's a little bit more expensive to do that because you add a transaction, but it keeps your funds safe. It keeps them blocked from anyone trying to drain that wallet. And that's why I say little to no protection. And that's where I have exchange number one, exchange number two, DEX platforms like PancakeSwap or Jupiter, etc. Gaming platforms. Now, I barely use any gaming platforms at all anymore. It was during the gaming phase which I created this table, but during the gamified tokens and crap like that, I did not trust any of them. And a lot of them ended up getting hacked as well, like Gala Games, and I'm sure there were more, but at least it was Gala Games which was got hacked, or data leaks, etc., etc. And you just want to keep that main wallet safe. So you have 3 layers of added protection, but 2 layers, but if you use a burner wallet, 3 layers of added protection, and that just ensures that's better than any protection anyone can guarantee you. And exchanges have been known to do crazy stuff. Like I use exchanges, but I don't trust them. I have one exchange which I trust a little bit more because it's insured, and it's a Dutch exchange. And a lot of exchanges are banned in the Netherlands, and this is one of the few that isn't and has a banking license. So it's insured up to 100,000 euros, and that will keep your that's relatively safe as well. The gaming ones. With the gaming ones, I mean gaming platforms like Gala Games, the Sunflower Farms. Oh god, I keep forgetting the name. I was talking about it yesterday, but there's another crypto game I was invested in. Turned out to be worthless, like all other games. I'm not invested in any gaming tokens at all anymore. A little bit of veracity is still what I hold, but other than that, gaming platforms, gamified crypto, they have a fatal flaw, which is hyperinflation. Any project claiming to say you can earn while playing has inflation, decreases its own value, is worthless in the long run. Trade it in the beginning, sell it as soon as you can. Could be, yeah. It could be like one of those mining ones. But when I made this table, I made this back in half a year ago, roughly. And when I made this, I still had more connection to those gaming platforms. But it's just coincident that last week I tried to figure out if I had Sunflower Farms, Sunflower Lands, and I heard they're going over to a new token. So I was just checking if it was worth anything and if it was still worth my time moving it over. But it wasn't, so I was proven right on that, I guess, sadly. But yeah, this is my way of keeping my wallet safe. This is something I would advise anyone to do. Money you don't use for trading, move it off on exchange. Don't keep it on exchange. All exchanges can fail. Celsius failed. FTX failed. If you go back, there's even to the beginning of Bitcoin, there were exchanges which failed. Or we had with, I keep forgetting the name of that one too. But a few months ago, we had the XRP trades. It was in Connor server where people were up like 50,000 USDT, and they reverted the trades. They had a clause in their terms and conditions, and there were people trading on it without KYC, and they reverted all the trades, all their profits, and they just gave them back their initial, if they even gave that. And some people ended up owing exchanges money. So that's why I always say, just if you buy crypto, buy it, move it off the exchange, keep it in a wallet, and then keep it in a safe wallet on top of that. But that's the way I would do it, and that's the way I keep doing it. Unless you are in the SEPA zone, SEPA, then you can use the same Dutch exchange I use, which is insured. It's called Bitvavo. I have a link to it in my description if you want to use it, if you can use it. Probably not a lot of people can. Yeah, exactly. That was a horrible time, and that was not fun for a lot of people. And yeah, that sucked. It really, really sucked. I was lucky that lucky. I was unlucky that I missed the trade, but I was lucky that I didn't get caught up in it and ended up owing the exchange money. That there were people who owed thousands to the exchange. Do I think it's fair that they did that? No. Can I do anything about it? No. Also, no. Same with people who held funds on FTX when it collapsed. They're the last ones in the line. They're not. They did get some money back, but I'm not sure if everyone did. Whatever. So, yeah, just wanted to share this little wallet structure thingy, and it's literally in my description as well. Use exchanges. Don't trust exchanges. Never trust anyone with your money. Never. Yeah, little back on point of the point of the video. I wanted to talk a little bit about keeping your money at work while crypto is down or in a bear market, or just diversifying. That's funny that their code is actually diversify. I did not notice that, but yeah, this is a platform I used. You can feel free to use. I have a discount code for it. If you want it, you get some ads. You get more ROI for the first few months. No clue how much or whatever. I haven't used it in a while. I'm thinking of reusing it again. But platforms like this, there's also crowdfunding for real estate. Some offer good ROI, some less. I'm not 100% sure on that, if and how I'm going to invest into those. But other than that, we have stocks, of course. And yeah, let's grab the S&P 500 a little bit. I'm not sure if there are people here invested into stocks or index funds or anything like that, or if you're just new to crypto and mainly focused on crypto. But I also have a stock portfolio, and mine is based on a lot of the movement from the S&P 500. I'm a little bit invested in the S&P 500 directly, but mostly I'm following ETFs, which are following the S&P 500, but they have a little bit of a cash dividend yield on the S&P 500. But if I see the S&P 500, well, it's a little higher now, but a roughly 10% drop on a stock, which I think, or a fund, which I think will continue to do well over the years. Instant buy for me. And I'm not sure how it's over there, but roughly the 20th is when I get my salary, when I send out my invoices, when I get my side incomes from my side jobs and other stuff I do. This is the time that I'm buying. So today I've bought a little Bitcoin. I'm looking at altcoins. I've not bought them yet, but I did buy Bitcoin. Bought a little bit of my S&P 500 funds. Still have cash on the side because I'm still very wary that we're going to go down further. The reasons for the drop are still the same in my eyes. We still have a lot of fear and uncertainty in the market. Nobody knows what Trump is going to do, especially I don't even think Trump knows what he's going to do. So with that much uncertainty in the market, I'm almost 100% sure we're going to drop down further. So other than crypto stocks, I'm definitely watching. But I thought this was a very good buy for the S&P 500. And if you look on the monthly chart, is what I'm doing right now, you can see it. I think it's still upward. It'll continue going up. Maybe we'll see a bigger correction. And if we do go down this much, I'm buying as much as I can. Yeah, crypto itself is not looking much better either. I've actually not looked at it, but I'm wondering how Solana is doing. Ooh. I've been watching Ethereum this week. Ethereum is not having a great time at all. Ooh. Solana definitely took a beating, but it's getting. I think it will be a very interesting price point again. How is BNB doing? Ah, that's the wrong one. That's the market cap. I did not want that. That's the one I wanted. I did have a nice little run on Caspa. Even though it dropped back down, but I did take some nice profits. Not bad. I'm actually surprised BNB kept its status for as long as it has. I was definitely expecting with basically the drop of the Binance Smart Chain. Like when I got into crypto, we had SaveMoon and all the other BNB meme tokens. The first real big meme tokens being released. We saw massive influx into the BNB based tokens, and after basically the year after that, when Solana became more popular, AVAX, other networks which were cheaper, faster even. I was well, I wouldn't say completely convinced, but I was thinking that it would be the end for the Binance Smart Chain tokens. But I suppose having a company like Binance backing it, that is what's keeping it. That is what it's keeping it healthy. Damn, I am ready for the weekend. Busy times. But yeah, I think that's good. Having a big company, big name like Binance backing it. I am not really sure what they have planned for the future. I mean, you have your token, you have your it does have its own bubble, and having it as the exchange's own token obviously creates a bit of a use case for it, but I don't know. I think with me, a lot of people we're all waiting for that next big thing in crypto. Like a few years ago, we got NFTs, and then all that hype flooded into NFTs, and we need a new thing. We need a new gimmick. We need something new to get the juices flowing, I'd say. And the first person that comes up with that will be a billionaire, basically. But the times are definitely different in crypto. Like when I first started, it was a lot more meme based. Everything was being hyped. Influencers are not, I won't say completely careful nowadays. There's still a lot of pump and dump crap, but with luckily with YouTubers like CoffeeZilla and other people cracking down on those scam coins and tokens, I think it's becoming less. Like, yes, there are still scam tokens and rug pulls, but the extremely big ones are becoming less and less. And obviously, with the amount of tokens being released, there will still be a few here and there. But if you have been in this community for a while, if you've been listening to me or Connor or Tyler, then hopefully you have all been safe. You have not lost at least big amounts of money on this. Like people sinking all of their money into the Arctur token. I mean, yes, it's theft, but it's also incredibly stupid to do that. Especially while we're talking about diversifying, I would never put all my money on one asset. Never, ever do that. Always try to keep your proportionate relative. Like, I don't know, if you're mainly into crypto, keep like 50% in Bitcoin, 30% in ETH, and move the others into smaller tokens accordingly. Something like that. I'm not saying do that, but something like that. It's something like I do with my crypto, but I don't only have crypto. I also invest a little bit into real estate. Via, and I do my crowd lending platform. I haven't used it for a while, though, in all honesty, but something like that. I move stuff into stocks. I've invested a little money with a personal friend of mine as well. So there's all these little different angles you can try to maximize your profits, and I think it's good, because if you have cash dividends coming in, for example, with stocks, if the stock market drops, if crypto drops, the cash dividends are still coming in. And yes, they're not huge amounts at first, but they snowball. As long as, even if you only reinvest your dividends, you will never have to buy another stock. It's still growing. Even if the value is dropping, it's still the starting amount is still growing. It's similar to staking, really. And if you can stake assets, which you think will do well in the future, then yeah, you could do that. It would make it balances out the negativity. Obviously, in crypto, the drops are much bigger than the staking rewards, but you get the point. So I've been rambling a little bit, I suppose. I wanted to show one more thing, the dividend interest calculation. I always like doing these. Yes, they're only focused on 100% gains and no loss years, but let's say we start with $5,000. And I looked it up in advance, the average yearly return of Bitcoin. So last year was a bit of a slow year in comparison, but let's say we stick to that 5-year rate, 60%. I'm rounding it up to 60%. Let's say we make that for the next 5 years. And let's say every year we put in $500 a month for the next 5 years. Maybe we increase it a little. Let's say we add 10%. Each year we up the amount a little bit. That's still a huge amount of money with relatively slow growth. We've all had more than this as well. We've had less as well, but that's why I keep buying these dips, because you maximize this effect. That 60% will become basically that 80%. I'm not going to use that as a calculation, but I mean, we can. Let's say that 10 year. Let's say we keep that 10 years, but that'd be 30 million. That you would have to be very dedicated to keep this up for 10 years with the amount of money, because like after 5 years already, you will already have 600K. Like 6 years, you have 1.3 million if you keep that 80%. But let's say it's that 60%. You only buy Bitcoin for the next 5 years. You start with 5K. Every month you put in that $500, 60%, 10 years, go. That's still almost $6 million. And that's easy. Anyone can do this. You do not have to be a pro trader for this. You do not have to be glued to the screens every day. I don't do that anymore either, because you start over trading. You start throwing away money on leveraged bets, which, yes, they can work, but eventually you will lose big, and it creates a lot of stress, which is not necessary. The gains on crypto itself are valid enough. They're high enough, is my opinion anyway. But I always like doing these little calculations. Obviously, you take them a little bit with a grain of salt. If there are a few bad years in there, yes, the return can be worse, but if you keep buying those bad years, your return can be higher. That's the key. You have to keep buying, and not just buying once and holding, because then you just fluctuate with the price in the mass, especially if you buy at the top. The lower Bitcoin goes, the more you buy. That's the key. Not just Bitcoin, basically. You can do this with gold and silver, even the S&P 500. You can do this with any asset. The only two things it has to do, it has to have growth, and it needs to be continuous. Like, it has to exist 10 years into the future. So I wouldn't do this with a separate stock like Tesla. I know I'm a little bit biased towards the America thing, but yeah, like Tesla, I think is way too risky to especially when you're just starting out buying at the absolute top of that stock. Maybe now when it's dropped quite considerably, I think like roughly 50-55%, it might be a good idea to buy a little bit now. It could go lower, it could go higher, I'm not sure. I do think a company like Tesla will reinvent itself eventually, either with or without Elon Musk. My thoughts on the matter. The question, my idea of trading is you only keep the account of a set size to generate a side income while investments you continue to scale. Yeah, you could. And you could take the profits you make on trading and slide them into your long-term holds or long-term investments. It's what I do. So I don't do a lot of day trading anymore. Sometimes when I think there's massive euphoria, and I don't like shorting, so I do longs, not shorts. But if there's massive euphoria in the market and you catch the beginning of it, you manage to grab that first candle along to the upwards momentum, basically like Connor does, then yes, I trade that. The profit I make from that, if it's enough, if it's a good size profit, I slide that back into, I keep that in Bitcoin and move it into that main wallet. Basically, I think that's key. But yeah, you have to keep moving money out of it, because if your trading account becomes too big, you start spending big. You become overzealous, I guess is the word. But that's my personal experience with it. Like I used to have a very big trading account. I traded a lot. I had trading bots, forex bots running, multiple servers running, which were running those bots 24/7. And eventually, I was glued to my phone 24/7. And it became very stressful during a downturn. I can tell you. I was not a happy camper at times. So that's why I shifted my perspective. I wanted to enjoy life as well without so much stress and continuous gluing screens and phones and crap like that. And this plan, numbers don't lie. If you manage to make, if you follow that Bitcoin, if you follow that growth, you make that amount. It is 100% doable. The only thing you have to do is keep buying those $500 increments. And in this case, also increasing that deposit every year. So that it might be a little bit unrealistic, but we put that down to 0. Yeah. And the best part, even you can see, like even if you don't increase your annual deposit, it's still a huge amount of money. And yes, 60% might be a bit unrealistic. Eventually, it might flatten down. But if you grab it the first few years or on those downturns and it goes back up, I think it's doable. But even if at 30%, it's still $500,000. Or if it's 35%, the exponential growth is huge, and I think it's doable. And yes, yeah, you can treat it as a promotion based. And the best part about it, for sure, 100% for sure, the savings account, right now it costs more money to keep it in that account. So it decreases in value as you hold it. And that's the worst thing you could do with your money. You can, well, in the Netherlands, you can invest in stocks through your bank. They invest it for you. You get a lot lower percentage, apparently less risk. I'm not sure how true that statement is, but yeah, you get 5 to 8% or something, and even that's if you think that's safer, you could do that. But even then, you still make more money than just keeping it in a savings account. Because like a 1% interest and then getting taxed, I think the Netherlands are quite lenient on tax, but you pay, I think, around 1%. It's roughly 1 to 1.5%, depending on how big your account is. But it still decreases in value, and then you add in like 5 to 6% inflation on top of that. So with inflation, it also decreases in value. So you lose up to 6% per year in a good scenario. In a bad scenario, it's more. All right, so I think I'm done for this with the stream for today. If you have any questions, if you have anything you want to ask me or share, or feel like you want to know, ask it. I still have a few minutes. I mean, I'm not making these numbers up, by the way. If you Google average yearly return, it's these percentages. Oh, you know what? I'll just link it in here. I just posted it in the chat. Otherwise, you can just Google compound interest calculator. So this works for any stock, anything. You can always look up the historic data and try to extrapolate your retirement plan, really. And it is my retirement plan. And not that I want to retire, but I think every one of us that's in here wants the option to be able to do it. We want freedom. We want financial freedom. We want to be able to pay bills without worrying, and we want to travel whenever we feel like it. At least that's my personal motivation. All right. Well, I'm glad I could help you with that. And yeah, just as I use this platform, there's loads of other platforms and other avenues you can be approaching, things you can do, you can use. There's so much stuff out there that we can use to our advantage. We have the internet. With the internet comes so much opportunities that people don't even realize. You have the world in your hands, in your phone. I just saw a message, Trump announcing a new fighter jet. All right. Well, yeah, let's leave. Let's close out the stream with that. And yeah, let's see you all next week. And have a great weekend, guys. Thanks for watching.